You know, like I'm gonna try to carry this someplace. I really am. But like I'll start like this, just to you know, just to dig into it. Like you go up to you see and I always like the grocery store shit. You go into a grocery store and you see a female, but you really know her husband. You don't know her, and so you're saying, well, tell him to give me a holler. Tell him to give me. And she says to you, well, he's at work right now, and I don't have his number. She says to you that she doesn't have his number. Her fucking husband. And so now she's taking me someplace in my mind, like, that I've never been. I've never been to. Like, I've never lived with cuckoo birds. They're not in my town. But I'm not even gonna go there. But the thing, like, check this out. It's like really, it adds up to what's going on. It adds up to what's going on with these marriages. They're no longer sacred. They're no longer sacred. And I think I'm going to get past this. I'm going to go down the road on it a little bit, though. Because, it's like, like, we take our money, like, if something wanted to be done about it, they spend billions with Ukraine in this war dealing with resources, natural gas over there. Like in Israel, that natural gas was found on the Palestinian side, so they're gonna take it. But we spend all those billions on that, but we are dealing with a natural plague. Marriage, divorce is a disease. It's a plague. If they wanted to do something about it, they'd take those billions, but they don't. They don't give a damn. You want to leave your husband, go ahead and leave him. And I guess where I'm trying to go with it is, like, because, I'm going to try to get into it like this. When I think of Sodom and Gomorrah, you know what I think? And I'm going to show you something. Like, Sodom and Gomorrah was like, they were like sort of what happened to this generation and the last generation. The last generation, because I guess I'm going to kind of go into what I always think about is forbidden fruit. Now, the last generation, like, what we would do without perversion, without, like, if we had a little, if we had a, how do I want to say it? If we had a little lollipop, a little Tootsie Roll in our family, we sent them up north. And then, like, if they had, like, like a annihilator up there, a little sweet candy that they had, they sent it down south. Because there was shame in the world. It was still shame in the world. But, man, come on, man, let me line this thing up right. It was still shame in the world. But the reason I see marriage is it's not sacred anymore is because the reason I mentioned forbidden fruit is because like Sodom and Gomorrah, I bet you those people were decent, just decent people. God-fearing people at one time. But you know what happened to this generation? That's why I brought up the two generations. This generation now, you take a generation probably about these kids that are from birth to around 30-something years old. This generation now. See, when they were born into this world, that's why it'll get back to forbidden fruit. It'll get back to each thing I said. I'll line it up for you. When they were born into this world, when you come to a red light, you were supposed to stop. When you came to a green light, you were supposed to go. When you came to a yield sign, because those were the laws that they were born into the world with. Like, they were born in the world, in that speed limit, at one time when I was little, it was 55. Then it went up to 65. Now, they were born into a world with specific speed limit. They know that that's the law. But with their sexual proclivity, I think that's the word you would use, with their sexual proclivity, they was born into a world that it was legal. That's what I'm saying with those Sodom and Gomorrah. They probably were just good, decent people, but I assure you, because they were in what I figure, and it's a theory of mine, but they were probably in the age of Aquarius like we are now. See, the last time we were in the age of Aquarius was like 25,000 years ago. See, the sun don't went round that heavenly wheel. It don't went through Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. It don't went all the way through them, and it's back in Aquarius. They were getting tattoos, and they were worshiping that god, whatever his name, Baal, what. They were looking at ass, looking at male ass, girl. So I think that they snatched a whole generation. Like, a lot of people don't realize that we came down here from the heavens. We're godly. And what they do to steal your soul, they're using your sexual proclivity. They're using it. They're using it to put you in a ungodliness, to put you in a godliness without your permission. Because when this generation were born, a man was told, you can run a red light, you can do a green light, you can go to a green light, you can stop at a red light, you can yield. But he was also told that he could marry a man. And the reason I'm mentioning that, because when I was born, that was not a law. You think that no people in Sodom and Gomorrah were any less or godlier than us? They came down here just like we did. It's just, I guarantee you, like I said, they were in the same age now, the age of revelation and truth. And to stop things from being revealed, to get these people, to get us, you know how they do humiliating ceremonies against actors, against singers, against, you know, they put them in a humiliating ritual. Whereas, like how they caught R. Kelly, like how they caught, you know, like how they did Michael Jackson. They did something, or like they doing Puff Daddy. They put a ritual, and we catch you with all this shit up front when we first start. And so when it comes time that we gotta do something to your ass, look at this that you did. So with this generation, they stole them. They've stolen their souls. But they didn't do it, and I'm sure the universe knows this, they didn't do it with their consent. They not doing this stuff with these. It would seem like they're doing it with their consent, because they're doing it of their own accord, of their, you know, I didn't make you go marry him. But they pass laws because the populace, the majority of it, are sheep. Sheep blind, they can't see. They need a cow. They need a bell sheep or a shepherd to lead them. And so, all right, let me get back on this road, because, you know, and so it's all, if you look at society now, the fabric of it, what the fuck is a 6-year-old worried about some damn sex for? Why? What the fuck is a 6-year-old worrying about whether he got a wee-wee or a coochie? You was born with a goddamn dick. She was born with a coochie. What the, you know? So like this, because I want to go here with it. Like I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab a ladder and climb my way to heaven on this one, and I'm gonna carry you with me, like how they did with in Babel. I'm gonna climb my way to heaven with it, because the laws of the universe, you know, it's 7 universal laws, and you can get into 14 of them, but the principal ones, the law of vibration, the law of rhythm, the law of relativity, the law of cause and effect. But there's another one. It always kind of threw me off, because it almost would seem like it's not in sync with those laws. Now, you know the level, some of you, but the 7th one, and they keep it at number 7. 7 is the law of gender. It's the law of gender. Now, the universe, like when we were one, we came up with these laws because it helps keep the universe in harmony. All that stuff up there is fixed. Ain't no changing it. You know, Mars don't fucking jump in front of Venus like, man, let me get close to Mercury. They don't. It's in order. You know, it's in order. And they rotate around and be moving around, but they don't bump into each other. They don't get out of line. But when ancient times, they read the stars. The men here, that's how the Bible was written. It wasn't written because you sit looking at some fucking fire like Moses. That's just a fable. They started reading the stars. From one house, from Virgo, where if you look in Virgo, there's a baby born and a Virgin Mary. All that comes from the universe. But let me get back on my horse and ride this ride out, because they base the laws here to keep it in harmony here on universal laws. So my question is, at least my first question would be, how the fuck could you come up with a law that allowed men to marry men and women to marry women? How could you come up with a law down here like that when our laws are to be based on universal laws? And there is a goddamn law of polarity and one of gender. Polarity, opposite extremes, hot, cold, tall, short, whatever. 90 degrees, the law of polarity. And then there's a law of gender, which is a unique one. It's unique to me because it would almost seem like it's indifferent. You know, like all those other ones is like, like when you're in physics class in high school, they don't bring up no damn gender. They'll tell you about relativity, they'll tell you about vibration, but they don't mention no shit about no gender. But it's a universal law. You know, it's a universal law. And so back to these marriages and this sexual revolution, because that's what it is. Nobody says it. Every other revolution, industrial revolution, the space age, they talk about the revolutions. But we're in the midst of a sexual revolution. Sex is being, first of all, it's being used as a weapon. It's being used spiritually it's being used spiritually. Like there, let's say it's 10 fallen angels. It's being used spiritually to recruit souls into their army. You know, like it's being used spiritually, where they're stealing souls. It's not like you're going down to your fucking naval base and signing up for it, and it's without your consent. This sexual revolution that's going on, it's being done without those terms of consent, because they're born into that. And when you're born into something, you naturally believe it. That's why you can say something to them and they'll look at you like, if you know, from the generation I'm from, I'm a little older, or the generations past, you can say something to them, they'll look at you as if you're crazy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? She can hold hands with her. Ain't shit wrong with that. What the hell are you talking about? Something's wrong with you. You know, like that. They'll skirmish. They'll skirmish. Or you can say something like, that's why it's censored. It's censored. You get on there and say something, your ass go to work, you're fired. You get on that damn TV and miss and say something about the law of gender. That's what we're talking about. The law. They've manipulated it, or really like they've broken it. They've broken the law. And you know about universal laws, you can't break them. You might think, we be saying on my job, like, you might get by with it, but you damn sure ain't gonna get away. You know, shit, you, like you say, like you go to the hospital, shit, you bleeding a little bit, but shit, you're not gonna get away. You're not gonna, so, and then, so with these marriages, it all plays hand in hand. How could you even open your damn mouth as a wife or a husband about anything that your child has a belief in when you two motherfuckers live on different sides of town. You two motherfuckers sleep in 2 different beds, and you think that child don't notice that? Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? So in their world, in the law, it's just as normal as yours, and yours is fucked up, and so is theirs. But we're all accepting it, because like I said, they're being born into laws that go against the universe. And what they don't realize is that I think that, it's just the way I define things sometimes, because I'll take a word and I'll have to dig into it my own, because I really think that you come down here and you were given a promise. Now, when I say salvation, I always get it wrong, because I don't look at it like how the church does. I just don't think that I do, because I think I'm looking at it like this. That because when you come down here, like when we decided that we wanted to come in the flesh, so now you're all stars until you come shining down here, but all of us couldn't come at one time. So when you start thinking about immortality, because we don't die up there, we're source, we don't die. Energy, it doesn't die, it transmute or whatever the word. But when we come down here, your energy, and like I think of salvation in the same sense of like when we came down here. This is how I think about salvation. Let me get back on my horse and ride. I almost fell off. Yeah, salvation, because those children don't realize what they don't realize is this: there's something going down here spiritually. Like, we know it's a war, but when you come down here, there's a weight. There's something being measured about you in terms of which side you're on, in terms of your spirituality. That's why there's the book of Acts in the Bible. Like, they'll talk about all those stories in the book of Acts. So you in your life, you have a book of Acts. What the hell did you do when you came down here? And it could be weighed in the sense of that we agreed that we would come down here. All of us couldn't come down here, but we were given immortality in this way, that we can come down here. And this is just a belief of mine and many others. There are some people that don't believe it, but we can come down here over and over, just like the moon, just like the sun drag the planets around that heavenly wheel, like how we're back here in Aquarius. It's going to go back to Capricorn in 2,160 years, and those stars that are in that, they got to shine again. They got to come back here and motherfucking shine. And you're given that, but I think that you can lose it if you come down here and get caught up in some shit and lose your soul. Because what you're promised is, yeah, you can go. I think that you'll get up. No, you can't take your ass back down there no more. Look at the shit you did. Like that. Look at the shit. But we agreed in the beginning that we would do immortality, but you would be able to come back down here as many times, because if you look at how that sun takes the planets around us, every 2,160 years you're in this Aquarius, and then it moves to Capricorn, and it does the ecliptical, and it starts shaking and shit. And those stars in Capricorn, they gotta come back down here, and then it goes into, I don't forgot what is it then Capricorn, then it's like whatever, Sagittarius, then you go Virgo, then you Scorpio, Virgo, Libra, all that. They go into each one of them 2,000 years, and it gets to shaking and shit. They got to come down here and experience this. But that is really giving them, because all of us couldn't come down, you're given a chance to come back down here again. But what I'm saying, like this generation, to me, it's like those same damn people that were those same stars, Sodom and Gomorrah. You're given a damn chance right now. What is it? To seek restitution, to clean that shit up, but you have been tricked. You've been tricked out. Just to me, it's just my theory. This is me having a conversation with you and sharing my beliefs, because like I said, they before they even got here, they were born into a world, really, literally, like how they was talking about, you born into sin. Now, excuse me, they were excuse me, they were actually born in a sin that is legal. You know, like you got the 10 Commandments and shit. You know, thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that. And then you have a law. You can marry a man. You can marry a woman. You can LGBTQ. You know, I said that there's a P, but we can't talk about that. But you can do all those things legally. And let me go back. And I'm finna finish because I just wanted to say that. And whatever it amounts to in your mind, fine. Especially those of you who like, you know, those of you who say, man, fuck you. I'm doing what the fuck I want. You. Okay, fine. I don't have no problem with that. But there's one of those laws that's cause and effect, an equal and an opposite reaction. So go ahead and do what the fuck you want to do. But remember that there are consequences. But the one thing I want to get to before I leave, because I always think about forbidden fruits. I have children, and me and my wife would go out, and like one of them was trying to sneak her boyfriend in the house. And now we telling her, you're not doing that shit in here, because I'm from that generation where you're not, and so to her, that's forbidden. That's forbidden. But the birds and the bees, they exist. And what I'm getting at is, I'm just trying to be, I'm trying to put a little French on it. It's this, like if you take, so they was born into those laws, but things that are forbidden, your human nature, like those 2 trees in the Garden of Eden, things like you tell somebody not to do something, like keep your hand off that goddamn, you stick your hand, you tell a baby get away from that damn plug, he go stick his hand in there anyway and get fucking burned. And it won't matter to him about, play with fire, get burned. You tell him something else about some shit. Stop running around the goddamn house. I don't told you what time. And then he falls. He keeps running and bumps his damn head. Because the things that are forbidden are what intrigues us. Forbidden fruit, they're better than oranges. They're more tastier than apples. They're more tastier than bananas, grapes. Really, they are, how can I say it? They are, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Like if you run out of commodity, they're the most desired. They are. And so that's why they could pass that LGBTQ shit on us. Because as humans, like cheating. Like, that's why the divorce shit is the way it is. And that's why they using sexual proclivities. Because they got the world with all these soap operas shit on TV. It's a hard thing. Like, that's why they say stolen water is sweet. It's a hard thing to like how that song was, Other People's Property. That they're talking about forbidden fruits. They're talking about forbidden fruits. You got some other man's wife in some damn hotel, and the pot got, that's a hot pot. It's burning. I have to say it. That's what that is, and that's the trick in it. The trick in it is that, like how the devil puts candy in front. Want some candy? Like the predator. That's why they use that to say, want some candy? Like saying, come here, come here, like that. And I'm gonna end it right there. I hope you got something from the conversation. Let's talk about it. But before I go to the black community, I will say this. Look, everybody else is unified. Everybody else, like this rental shit, Mexicans been beat this shit. Like this rental shit that we going through, and our kids got to pay all this 25, 30. The Mexicans been beat that shit through their unity. 20 of them stayed together in the house 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and they'll do it today. They've been doing it, but we won't. You got, like, you 18, your mama tell you, go get your ass up out of here. Like my mom, I came home, my mom was just, I'm like, what did I do? She said, you ain't did a damn thing. It's time for you to go. I was like, well, goddamn. Like that. And so my thing is right now, when you asking for solutions, it's 2 things I will say instead of running my fucking mouth. and not giving solution. It's this: those pastors in those churches sit their ass down in them pews, close your doors, and get the business with the finances. All these houses and shit that our church got to pay for, buy them motherfuckers up. Do you hear me? You want me to say it again? Y'all go up to the podium when he preaches and say, come on, son, come on and sit down. Sit down right here by mama, the church lady. And y'all be a body, the body of Christ. And y'all take y'all finances in all the communities that the membership is of. Don't let a damn house pass you by. You go to some bank or realtor and you tell them, I want every goddamn house that's for sale and everyone's that's for rent. And that's what they're doing. You see what they're doing? They'll call you. I said, bitch, you see a for sale sign in front of my fucking house. Don't call my damn house no more about buying my house. That's what they're doing. That's one thing. You say solutions, that's one. Sit his ass down and turn these churches back in to segregated entities of power in our community. And then the second thing is all that divorce shit. I don't give a fuck. Long as he not putting in his hands, long as nobody getting physical, no more divorces. We're not gonna do what this society doing. We're not gonna do it. And I would say bring the kids back, but shit, y'all not gonna do that. Shit, no. What, he gonna get his ass out of here? I'm gonna go get the law and put a damn subpoena. But at least let's do this. Let's get back control of those churches financially. And let's do the harmony of the universe. Let's bring it back in our community. They're using finances against us in our community. That's free trade. Like to have all the Chinese around us with Chinese restaurants, the Indians around us with confectionery stores, gas stations, and then China, all of them are around us because that's called free trade. That means that they can trade with us, but we can't trade with them. That means like they got you don't see them coming buying no goddamn food out of our communities. You don't see them coming to get their nails done because it's free trade. They can come and trade with us. That's what happened with integration, but we can't trade with them. So let's get back to segregation. But we can't do it through the Supreme Court, so we have to do it in our churches. So I'm offering a solution. Now you can say, man, say what the fuck you want to say. But at least say this. That some people are in hell and can't get out. They don't know how to get out. At least I'm telling you, look, that back window in the bathroom at the night is open. You can get your ass out of here if you try. Like that. Or I'm at least saying that they left the goddamn front door open. We can get the fuck out of here. Do that. Or at least let's unify. Use the two weapons they're using division, so use unification or multiplication. And then they're using their churches. The church is the most powerful thing. That Church of Rome, it's their most powerful weapon outside of intelligence. Intelligence. But in terms of control and controlling their community and other communities, it's the church. That's my solution. That's the end of this conversation. And I'd just like to thank you.